think you guys in Dallas know Jason Gallagher.
Yes.
Probably my best friend in media. And he was joking around, and he was saying, this is a betrayal. It's an excuse to stop rooting for the team. And I said, well, become a Magic fan, because at the Magic, the players betray us, not the other way around. Shaq goes to L.A., Dwight Howard goes to L.A., Penny doesn't want to play for the team anymore. That's much easier to digest.
Right.
It's not an owner or a GM saying, nah, we don't want this guy here anymore. And to me, it breaks my heart, because I understand being a Magic fan, being a University of Miami fan. I understand what sports depression is. Like, I really do. Like, Miami lost a game to Syracuse a couple of months ago that would have gotten them into the playoff if they won. And I've been thinking about it every day since. And it was funny. I took my son. It was the first time he sat through a full football game. And the photos are so cute of him in the dome, in the Carrier Dome. And every time somebody sees it, they go, "Oh my God!" And I go, "No, you have to understand. That was the worst day of my life. Like, that was the worst day. Like, I can't look at those beautiful photos of my son because of how depressed I am over it." And so I understand what that is, and my heart breaks for people who are in that situation where they love a team and they can't get out of it.
And we've been talking about it all week, but it's kids and adults, like old people, like that are crushed, depressed, sad.
Well, you thought that you were going to have this guy in your life for 15 years.
Why wouldn't you?
You have a player like that.
And we're coming off Dirk for 21.
If next October, Adam Peters was like, I don't know, Jaden Daniels, you a little bit, and you'd be like, whoa, like, we were going to build a statue of this guy.
That's right.
And then this one thing led to another, and all of a sudden you've got this guy you thought you were going to be able to build your life around. If you're a father, you think, I'm going to take my kids to see Luka when they're 5, then 10, then 15. Like, he was going to be a pillar of the community, and it just ended.
I looked at it as, this guy is going to be in my sports view, my sports world, till I'm 65 years old.
Without a doubt.
And that is so sad that now in like 3 years, we're going to be like, who do we have now?
Let me ask you a question. So I thought about this, actually ran it past our good friend Brian Curtis. If this happened in the NFL, if this happened, let's assume Jaden Daniels would be not the same, but like a young star where it's like, this guy's going to be around for a long time. And there's rumors that for some reason he's about to leave a marquee market the year after the finals.
Right.
I kind of feel like Goodell would be like, no,
yeah,
we're not doing this. Shams, you actually did get hacked.
Right.
Delete the tweet. We're not doing this. Like, I really believe it's bad for the league that this happened, because I don't think the Mavericks fans are going to trust that franchise for the rest of their lives, and as long as that ownership group is there. Like, there's no
100%.
reason season tickets are going to tank. Like, you just effectively killed a franchise. And if I'm Adam Silver, I'm sitting there saying, why did we allow this to happen on a late Friday night at midnight? I was sleeping the whole time.
You know why they did? Because they orchestrated the whole thing.
Yeah.
How about that? They needed this in LA.
Silver made the call.
Yeah, they want to protect the Lakers for the next 15 years.
But you could have done that so much easier.
Well, I was gonna say, that's what this nonsensical story has done, is it's made everyone chase every ridiculous conspiracy possible as plausible. Like, there must be some better explanation than just a GM doesn't have a clue.
It's a bigger conspiracy than COVID.
Or an owner.
Yeah.
That's the thing that pisses me off more than anything is, we know for a fact Mark Cuban would never. He would have laughed at this. He wouldn't have. 4 first, Dalton Connect, Anthony Davis. He would sit there on the phone for about 30 seconds and be like, you know what? No.
We're good.
Yeah,
we're good.
We're good.
We're done.
And the fact that this jackwagon took the phone call and was like, it sounds great.
Made the phone call.
And then took first-round picks out of the deal.
Dude.
It's a bad sign when the worst-case scenario is that none of the conspiracy theories are true. Like, that, like the only way that he comes out, that Nico comes out looking okay, is if it turns out it was a shadowy conspiracy.
Yes,
right.
And Luka has cirrhosis or something like that.
Or like,
there's an Occam's razor, and it just turns out he thinks Anthony Davis is better for the basketball team. That's really bad news for everybody.
I kind of think that's where we're at.
I agree.
This is Kevin Clark, long time of the Ringer, now of Omaha, which means the Mannings. Works with a lot of the Manning stuff, and of course does the awesome This Is Football, YouTube, podcasts, all that sort of thing. Okay.
How are the Mannings?
We just ate at evidently the Manning's favorite po' boys place in New Orleans.
I didn't get that rec.
Yeah.
We'll pass it on to you. It was
It's
great.
very good.
It was amazing. So here's what I like about you, and I've always liked it. First of all, you're a smart football guy, so that checks one box. But then you're a real sports nerd going back to when you were a kid.
Absolutely.
And you are proud to validate that.
Yeah.
I swear there are more than just this one, but I just wanted to make sure you saw young Kevin Clark here. I think this is Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, that's Stephanie McMahon. I have a Vince McMahon photo as well. We don't circulate that as much anymore.
So how old are you here?
I'm 12.
Okay.
I look like a penguin. I'm incredible. I'm just the listener can't see it. I'm cartoonishly fat.
Yeah. How did you reverse that?
About 10 years ago, I just got got healthy. It was pretty easy. I started to run a little bit, and I lost like 70 pounds in a year, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. But I wasn't that like that when I'm that age.
That's
Whenever the XFL launched, so
it's like looking at little Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, I've gotten that before. I've gotten that many times before. But also to add to the cartoonishness is I have a badge that says guest of the XFL, which I don't even like. I know why I had to do it, but like, why was I wearing that at the time?
Right.
I don't. The whole thing was very, very strange. But it's such a funny photo that it gets recirculated quite a bit.
But it gives you cred that you're not just doing this for a living. You're doing this because when you were a little kid, you were really into this stuff.
I loved it.
Yeah, even though it looks like you were more into professional wrestling than you was into football at the time, but that's okay.
It's possible. Yeah, I mean, Orlando's weird because we don't have an NFL team.
Yeah,
and so for if you don't know the geography of Orlando, like. It's all generational. It's not like Dallas, where the old timers are all Dolphins fans. Everybody who's 50 and above grew up with Marino, or before that, the 72 team. So everybody who's old in Orlando likes the Dolphins. My generation's the Bucks, and then the newer generation is the Jaguars, because Lord knows why. Blake Bortles had something to do with that.
Maybe Shad Khan's yacht.
Maybe Shad Khan's yacht. They just love Shad Khan's yacht up there. They love it. I will say it was all Trent Baalke. Baalke, they were all like, we got to hitch our wagon to Baalke.
This is going places.
Yeah. We're all Magic fans, so we understood.
That's right.
We understood bad GMs. You're like, this is the guy. I'm more of I grew up more of a college football guy, just because of the way Florida is set up. And I don't know. I think Dallas is a little bit different because the Cowboys are such a brand there.
Dude,
I would say it's incredible how much but this city, well, probably like Orlando, very fragmented.
Yes.
And you can find so many Longhorns, Sooners, Aggies, Texas Tech. It's wild how tribal it is with it, and they're all Cowboy fans, but within that community, all these different,
Florida
tribes.
is a college football state. No, I don't think people really understand that outside. Most of the South is, most SEC country, and I assume Texas considers themselves SEC country.
Now
it's a little different. It's not like South Carolina or whatever.
That's right.
But
we weren't totally Confederacy, just mostly Confederacy.
Right.
That's how you truly cause the problem.
I went to a Jaguars game when I was in high school, and they were like best available tickets. I literally just walked up, and they were like, all right, well, you'll be in the upper bowl on the Jaguar side. And I go, oh, okay. Do you have anything on the other side? And they were like, oh yeah, we have like lower bowl, like 10th row. And I was like, well, I'll just take that. And they go, but sir, you won't be on the Jaguars side. And I go, is this a high school game? Like, what is this? And they're so programmed, like from the lower level. We're at an NFL game. They're playing the Bills.
Right.
Like, I promise you, this isn't like the parents of the Bills. Right. Or like Takeo Spikes' mom is going to be. It's like, no. Like, this is an NFL game. But it's just so programmed to be like high school, college first in Florida, and then NFL afterwards.
Are you a Buccaneers fan?
No. I grew up a big Brett Favre fan. Again, kind of like the Vince McMahon thing. We're just going to put it in the corner and not really bring it up. But no, I actually grew up a Packers fan because I love Brett Favre so much.
You love sexual abusers. Right?
I mean,
Kevin, no matter how much you love Brett Favre, you probably, well, I don't know.
Well, no,
you probably didn't name your firstborn son Brett. I did.
I didn't. You did?
Yeah.
Well, so here's the deal. I only love his off-field stuff.
Right. Yeah, stealing money from taxpayers.
Too many interceptions.
On-field stuff. I mean, he was so reckless with the ball. You guys remember the Brian Dawkins interception?
Oh my gosh!
And so I was out on him.
Yeah.
And then he started stealing money from poverty-stricken areas.
Yes.
And I said, "This is my guy."
Yeah.
And so I
now
the magnetic
yeah,
bracelets.
now I've got
magnetic
hero.
bracelets.
Yeah.
Were you a fan
Copper
of his, like when he went to Minnesota and stuff?
No, I was in like high school and college. I kind of gave up by then, and
Okay.
so yeah, I don't have an NFL team, which I think helps and hurts. As an NFL writer, I'm not emotional about it, and
Yeah.
so I think that helps me a little bit. I never have an axe to grind or anything like that. I'm like a huge University of Miami fan. To the point, like it's not good. Like it's message board level. I don't post, but you're reading recruiting stuff and that I mean, college football.
Who's your favorite Hurricane of all time?
I think it'd unanimously be Sean Taylor for anybody who, I mean, like,
respectfully,
Sean Taylor story.
Do you think that he won that contest going away almost posthumously?
Yes. No, I know what you're saying. There's probably some of that.
The Kurt Cobain theory. Dying young.
A little bit.
It multiplies your popularity tenfold.
A little bit of that. Yeah. I mean, like, I think that someone like Ed Reed, who had an amazing NFL career, there's not the same romance because we saw the whole thing. We saw what it would have been. With Sean, I think there's just this, hey, he had 10 more years left in the NFL. We don't know what that would look like. Would he have taken the Washington team and made them into winners? We really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do think there's part of that. I mean, there's just also he had a legendary style of play. Same with Ed.
Yeah.
But he just like hit the crap out of people. And Clint Hurt, who played on those teams, is the Eagles defensive line coach. I caught up with him yesterday, and I do a thing on my show called Badasses, which is the most badass person ever played.
I enjoy it very much.
Because we figured out that, like, if you say to Eli Manning, hey, tell me about a story when you crushed it, Eli, he's going to go, oh, well, but he's not going to tell you anything. But these guys love talking with their teammates. They love it. And so I asked Clint, most badass teammate we ever had. He said Sean Taylor. And he told the story, speaking of sexual abusers. I can't believe this keeps coming up. Kellen Winslow was apparently a bully on the practice field and was bullying some linebacker, so a freshman linebacker, a small undersized linebacker. Sean Taylor on another field, nothing to do with the play, finds his helmet, goes into the practice, says, I got you, Winslow, knocked his helmet off in the middle of practice.
No kidding.
And it's like, that's the kind of stuff where I understand, like, there's a romance around his career and all that stuff, but like, he was also doing that. Like, he was the guy. He was in a locker room filled with future all pros. He was the alpha.
Alphas.
And I think that's hard to do.
Yeah.
So what is your earliest memory of being a Miami fan?
Boy. So the first game I remember watching, first any game, was the Nebraska-Miami national championship game, the Orange Bowl.
All right.
That was like football. The rules of football were like being explained to me during that game. It was one of those deals.
So that run, that 80s Miami, I was in Oklahoma, grew up crazy Oklahoma fans. So those 3 years that they played each other in the mid 80s after the Nebraska game were legendary, dude. Like with all Bosworth and Testaverde and Michael. I mean, dude, those were so great. So amazing. Awesome.
Yeah. Amazing.
Where are you at on Michael Irvin? Is he before you a little bit?
He was before me. I've gotten to interview him many times.
That's a wild ride.
And he is
more sexual abusers.
Yeah. He
surprised he's not your favorite.
Yeah.
I love that
guy.
Allegedly.
Just everybody calm down.
Allegedly. These other guys, you know what? If we can,
man. But you
at
and
least
Diddy.
Winslow. What? Well, no, I am again. Diddy. For me, it's like Brett Favre.
Right.
The music.
Yeah.
The music is whatever. I kind of missed that train. It was in the mid '90s. Within the last couple of years, Diddy's gotten on my radar.
These cool parties.
And I really just respect it. I just respect the craft,
the game,
staying relevant. Yeah, and the parties,
staying relevant. You know what? He has
his name out there.
He has a knack for keeping his name.
And I actually, after this, I'm going right to one of his parties.
That's awesome.
And they talk about Super Bowl parties, and he's got one of the best.
I had no idea there was going to be a freak off this week.
Oh no,
we didn't get the memo.
No, we're
one of the best. Kevin Clark, you're awesome, man. Really appreciate you coming over and doing the show. Want everybody to check out This Is Football and all of Kevin Clark's stuff. He's a smart football man, and he'll give you some good stuff. Thanks a lot, dude.
Thanks, guys.
You're awesome.
Tell Gallagher we're looking out. Why didn't he come over and say hi?
He's producing Chris Long's show this week, so he's everywhere but here, basically.
Okay.
Well, we understand he's down very bad, and
one day he's taking it one day at a time. I had dinner with him last night. He's going to get through it. He's going to get through it.
Okay, as we all will.
As we all will. We have no choice. All right, there you go. It is 3:54 on the ticket.
Public.
Super Bowl 59.